Why are American beekeepers and Americans in general so clueless? Gosh, I don't know. As far as let's talk about Americans first, you have no idea what your government does around the world. You're brainwashed by the mainstream media. Like, for instance, now Putin is an evil dictator trying to conquer Europe. That's not exactly true. If you looked into the details, you would find out that the United States has been putting weapons into Ukraine after they helped overthrow the democratically elected government of Ukraine back in 2014. Putin is just defending Russia. The U.S. has been aggressive. NATO has been moving east ever since the 90s, and they said they wouldn't move east, and they have. They've been encroaching on Russia. So Russia is defending itself. Okay, and as far as American beekeepers, today's February 25th. You guys that want to wrap your hives, it's important for bees to have cleansing flight. If you wrap your hive, you're insulating them from the sunshine. The hive is not going to warm up. They're not going to know it's warm enough for them to fly. It's in the 20s right now. It's really not all that warm, but the bees will do a cleansing flight, and the majority of them will make it back in. And what this tells me by looking at these hives here, what this tells me about the colonies is this is a large colony because they can break cluster, whereas this one right here is a small cluster. They cannot break out and fly around. So in other words, I know the size of my colonies just by walking down through here. And I don't have very many colonies that are flying right now. And you see all the bee poop on here? That's important that they get cleansing flights. I have colonies that haven't had a cleansing flight since December 15th. The small colonies that I brought outside and they couldn't break cluster, they had to stay in their cluster because it wasn't warm enough. They haven't had a cleansing flight since December 15th. It's not healthy for them not to have a cleansing flight. And if you wrap your hive, they're not going to know that the sun is shining and it's warm enough for them to take a cleansing flight. See, the dark hives for northern beekeepers helps warm up the hive, and they know that it's warm outside or fairly warm with the sun, that they can do a cleansing flight. And then if they get tired and they can't make it back into the entrance, they can land on the hive, and this is warm. This will warm them up, and then they can get back into the air and go back into the hive again. And I got a little Siberian Husky there. She's fascinated with honeybees. She gets stung all the time, but she doesn't learn her lesson. So I'm really ashamed to live in America. I wish you guys were a little bit brighter. I'm too old to move to a different country. Unfortunately, if I were younger, I would certainly move out of the United States because you guys are a bunch of morons. And all you beekeepers that take your bees to California, you love the money, you love serving the corporations, but you're not helping honeybees. If you did a pollinator strike, and you refuse to do pollinating these corporate farms, maybe we can get some of these chemicals removed, because my bees die through winter, not from varroa mites, but from the toxic chemicals that the crop farmers spray in my area. It's in their hive. I keep saying this. It's in the wax. It's in the pollen. It's in the honey. It's in your body, and you guys don't give a fucking shit about it. You're going to get cancer from these toxic chemicals. They brought back chemicals from the Vietnam War, Agent Orange, that they're using now for these crop farmers because the weeds have become resistant to the other chemicals. Okay? It's destroying our environment. It's going to destroy your body. It may take several decades, but you're going to die of cancer. The bees have a short lifespan. It affects them right away. Within a few weeks or a couple months, they will die. Maybe you expect bees to die instantly from toxic chemicals. No, not all bees die instantly from toxic chemicals. They get them, and it takes several weeks. During the winter, they die from the toxic chemicals. Okay? I mean, what more can I say? You guys are just so clueless. All this talk about varroa mites. Oh, my God. All these people that put videos on YouTube about this and that about beekeeping, different hives and different treatments for varroa mites. Nobody's talking about the toxic chemicals killing your bees. It's killing your bees, and it's also going to kill you too, okay? Thank you.